Our nerd people, we are back.
What it do, nerds? How's it?
Happy to see everybody again.
Yeah, how goes it, guys?
Yeah, life just keeping me busy.
These playoffs, man, been keeping me busy.
Yeah, right.
These kids, we got a lot of bills this month. We got dentist up the ass.
Yeah. Yeah, Dad just got out of the hospital today, so he's back home and relaxing after that fun little trip he had to go for.
Wonderful
Um,
news.
then also had Tanae's niece slash goddaughter had her first communion this weekend, so I went to go be there for that. That was fun. I got recruited into taking pictures, and I think I did a really bad job. Like I'm not Catholic, so I'm not used to like how a Catholic service is even done. And I was like, wow, I am kneeling and standing a lot. and
A lot of motions. A lot of motions.
then and then basically like her niece walked up to where the priest was at, or the whatever, yeah, walked up to the front, and thankfully we were in the first row. She walked up, and then all of a sudden, today's like, "Get the camera!" I'm like, "Oh my god!" It's like, "Oh shit!" And I'm like trying to take pictures, and I'm just like, "Oh, I am not prepared for this right now." And
I,
I stretched myself out too far. My legs started to cramp. I was like, "Oh god!"
it was just a bad ordeal entirely.
Right. And I mean, the service and everything went off without a hitch still, but like it was also funny. Her dad, her niece's dad, fell asleep for a little bit. We're sitting in the front row.
we owe. We are old.
Oh man, that was good.
I went to church last weekend, and my stepmother was preaching. Man, it was hard. I just saw a meme. It was like the hardest fight you'll ever get into is fighting your sleep at church.
hmm
And then underneath of it, it was like, see, I never fought it. I just let Jesus do his work. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm an adult. I think it's harder for me to stay awake now, but
Oh yeah, there's so much more responsibility.
I'm actually tired.
Yeah. This is a real tired. Like this isn't like tired from like running around and playing all day. This is tired of like bills, responsibilities that you didn't expect.
Fully engaged, trying to receive this word, and I just can't stay awake. And of all things, it's my mother, it's my stepmother preaching. Me up, she's like, my son's in the building today. I was like, yep, I'm here, I'm awake, I'm here, guys.
Oh, you're like it's like in class, everyone's like staring.
I just blurt out an answer. I'm like, Egypt. You're like, what? I thought you were asking something.
I mean, there is a lot that happens in Egypt in the Bible, so you're not necessarily wrong.
Like that's where we're happy, right? Nope. Completely
There was
lost.
one time in high school I fell asleep during class and I had a falling dream, so I jumped in my desk when I woke up.
Yes, I've had one of those in high school as well. They are quite entertaining. It's kind of funny.
Oh man.
After you look around, you're like, "Anybody see that? Anybody?" Then you see your friend. He's like,
Yeah, it's like everyone saw that.
and it's of course your teacher's like, "Glad you could join us.
Yep.
Glad you can drop back in." Oh man, we got a pretty good show for you guys today. I did want to start with. I wanted to give somebody their flowers. Do you remember TC Carson? He was Kyle from Living Single.
Oh yeah. I do remember him.
Man, I did not realize how many voiceovers he's done over time.
Really?
Yeah, he did the original Kratos. He did a bunch
Oh yeah,
of series to animated movies to video games. He did
that's
Kratos.
true. And he was also in Stargate for a while.
Yep, he did Kratos 2 and
Yeah.
2. He's Mace Windu in the Clone Wars series and movie. And like
Oh man.
yeah,
Wow.
yep. He is Ra's al Ghul in the Justice League versus Teen Titans movie, which is awesome. That came out in 2016.
Yo,
Yeah,
that is
great.
whoa. Yeah, you're right, man. I'm kind of getting blown away. I didn't realize he has been so busy.
He's all over the map. He was Tensei in Far Cry Primal.
God,
That was a great one.
that game.
Yeah, and he's just Mace Windu for majority of the everything. Like
Hmm.
that's his character.
Samuel was busy. We're gonna use you instead.
Yeah, yep. But yeah, man, he's all over the place. Um, yeah, shouts out to TC Carson. You
And
know,
his long acceptance speech at the video game awards.
oh no, that wasn't him. That was a
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that was him.
Nope, he's a much smaller guy.
Okay.
But no, I mean he's
I was about to say, damn, that guy's been like real versatile.
yeah, no, he was the short guy in Living Single
Oh, okay, okay, yeah,
when that was
that makes more sense.
him and Maxine had that thing, that love hate relationship. Um, in other news, we got Gran Turismo coming out with a
Not the game, the movie.
yeah, Gran Turismo the movie. Dude, have you seen the cast to this?
I only saw the teaser, and that didn't really show a lot because it's a teaser.
We got David Harbour. You know, he was Levin's dad in Stranger
Yeah,
Things.
yep, and he was in the teaser, like yelling at the drivers.
Mhm. You got Orlando Bloom, uh,
Okay.
and you got one of my favorites, Digimon. Uh,
Oh man, it's been a minute since he's been in something
nah, you
that
know,
I've seen.
he was in Shazam, Shazam 2. He's
Yeah, like not for a long time.
well, he was in number 2. That just came out, and he was in number 1. You know, he's the guy that gives them
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
I recognize him from that. He was also in the uh, what's her name?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Captain Marvel.
Was he in Captain Marvel? I don't even
Yeah,
honestly.
yep. Yeah, he was in Captain Marvel. He was one of Jude Law's underlings.
Ah, okay. Yeah, he's all over. He's always like a henchman or like the right hand man or something like that. Or he's like a teacher of some sorts. Like never back down. That movie.
Classic. That was a good choice.
That was a good one. I like that one.
I had that DVD in college, and someone took it, and I was actually really devastated about that.
Same thing. I had a stack of DVDs stolen from me, and Never Back Down was in there. You gotta love college buddies.
Should have had a better rental system.
I mean, honestly, but they did take a couple of my Redbox movies. Really was maybe my
That's awful because
bill. And
Redbox will come after you.
yeah, no, they're I'm glad they're dying off now.
It's run by the mafia, so don't mess with it.
Oh man, anything you got, real quick? Any
Uh,
opening act?
I, the only thing that I really want to talk about is Jedi Survivor, and I'm trying to think of a way to not give too much away about it.
Please.
Um, but basically, like what I'll say is 100% game of the year candidate. Man, that's the game was so well done. Cal's overall character development, like seeing him grow through the story and actually have to deal with the dark side creeping into his mind in ways he didn't expect. It's so good. Like you're seeing the pain on his face and just everybody dealing with their own like internal struggles and how well they're fit into the story. Like pretty much all the original characters came back, and the new ones that they brought in, like they were perfectly fit in, perfect like puzzle pieces. It was very, very well done. Um, they did take away the mantis customization, which in the end, like not that big of a deal. It's just changing the skin on the mantis, so you aren't able to do that in the game anymore. But your customizations for Cal, like you can change his hair, you can give him facial hair, you can change his clothes, and you can change the color of his clothes. They also added more lightsaber parts to like basically make it so it's truly, truly yours. Everything they've added, all the extra customization that they were able to add by taking away the customization of the ship is so cool. So you won't even miss the Mantis customization. The fighting system, dude. Like, they they gave it some Red Bull or something. Like it took off for me because they added new stances to your overall fighting stance. They truly make the dual wielding lightsabers a thing, so you can fight like Ahsoka Tano, and it's freaking dope. And also, it provides you with a different view on the Jedi Order, the Sith, the Empire, and just all of the Outer Rim planets that you'll kind of go to. And you also get to explore Coruscant for a bit too. It's one of the first missions you do. It's very cool to see Coruscant in that type of environment where you get to actually play through it and, bust through the city while you're trying not to get captured by the Empire.
Yeah.
And they add more force powers that you can use. And like I said earlier, the way they bring the dark side into the game and make it like very much a struggle you have to deal with is really cool. I will say it it's a bit of a bummer that they don't give you more choices in how certain things are handled, but they did what they thought was best for the story, and I still think they did very, very well. And they set you up a couple times to make you think like, oh, this is where the game is going to end, and they're building up for the third game, which they still do with the ending, but the twists and turns that it takes is just so, so cool. Like everyone really needs to just play it. It's just a beautiful Star Wars game. It's just the best way to say it.
Yeah, I plan on playing it as soon as I get my HDMI port fixed. I will not go into that any further. But the Star Wars universe is like the best universe ever invented, like ever thought of, ever created. It's. I know like the Marvel and the DC universe is vast as well, but it's ridiculous when it comes to the Star Wars world. Um, and it's because of stories like these. They're just side stories, not much to do with the main story, not much Empire or any of that, into it. None of the main characters. They give it room to be its own thing. And that's what I love about it the most. Like, I love the Star Wars books. Like, this would be a great book as well. There's so many Star Wars books that I've read, and I'm like, why is this not a movie? Why is this not a TV show? Why is this not a video game right now? Like, oh man,
Yep.
I can't wait. I can't wait to play it myself.
Yeah, and I think the biggest struggle with not having access to a lot of those Star Wars books is the same struggle that Rings of Power had with Amazon for Lord of the Rings. The Lucas Group doesn't let everything get used. They're very strict about it. They're very much just like you can use the appendices, and that's about it. And it's like cool.
Darth Bane needs its cinematic
hmm
TV debut, whatever. It's the best Sith Lord of all time. So there you go.
Mic drop on the Sith Lords.
We'll drop that mic on that.
Yeah, go play it. So much fun. Um, yeah, so good. And the basically the way one last thing, the way they set up the upgrading, it basically it looks like little memory cards when it gets pulled up. So it's like it's fun for me to think like, oh yeah, he's just sliding these memory cards into his brain. They all look like they all look stone, but it was a cool little detail that I also really enjoyed.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Uh,
But Zoom is gonna tell us we need to stop.
yeah, we're about to get yelled at, mean lady. So we will be right back, nerds.
It'll be real quick, we promise.